Is dating overseas better than dating in the United States? Well, in this series of videos talking about how to date overseas, I'm going to break down that question for you. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, I am now 10 years in the game as an expat slash nomad. I am on my fourth country, third continent here in Lusaka, Zambia, the southern region of Africa. And I've started now sharing some of the things that I've learned along this way. But most importantly, if you're an expat or thinking about becoming one, why you should be looking into Lusaka, Zambia. So this video is more geared towards the single guys out there. I do have a few single guys that do watch the channel. And so one of the things I've always been getting asked is, what is it like dating? Now, the reason why I have avoided this video is because most people ask the question the wrong way. Most people be like, what are the women like? That's a very degrading question, guys. So finally, someone asked me, what is it like to date there? And so I was like, okay, since someone finally asked the question appropriately, let me just go ahead and start doing more of these videos. So I'm going to make a series on it. Now, before I get into the aspects of actually dating here in Zambia, first, we have to set a foundation. Just like a house, a business, anything that you want, even a great family, you have to set a solid foundation. So this is why we're starting here. Now, if you want to get into a relationship, you have to understand you as the guy is not the prize, and neither you as the woman is the prize. The relationship is the prize. A relationship is two people melding together, becoming a symbiotic process to where each of you are feeding and thriving off one another. A relationship isn't just going up. It's like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, ups and downs. Things are going to always happen. Things are going to always change. And so you're going to have to be able to constantly grow together. And this is where a lot of people actually mess up. And the reason why they're not allowed to grow together is because a lot of people do not know how to choose an appropriate partner for them. Too many of us have too much of social media, too much of advertisements, too much of movies, even too much of friends and family telling us who or what is good for us. And then the reality is only you know what is best for you. So first off, you must start understanding, what is it that you value about yourself? When you find out what you yourself values, now you can go find someone that has a similar values to you. A lot of us have been taught that we can change someone. You see this a lot in women. Well, I can make him a good man. I can make him be the right. You cannot make anybody be anything. Please hear me on that. A duck is going to always be a duck. A player is going to always be a player. A cheater is going to always be a cheater. You cannot force them to change. All you're doing is wasting your hard-earned time and youth and a lot of people that is not worth it. This is why I think one of the most detrimental things that people do in relationships, they stay too long. When you need to have your boundaries. Once too many of your boundaries have been disrespected, you need to leave. End things. It doesn't matter what they're going through. It doesn't matter if they having a family crisis. It doesn't matter anything about them and what's going on. Too many of your boundaries have been broken. You need to leave. So that's number one. So first thing after that is understanding that if someone breaks too many of your boundaries, that you need to leave. How do you know what your boundaries are? Your boundaries are the things that you value. And so now what I actually did this while I was getting my haircut. Like sometimes people think like, oh, I'm just living the soft life. Usually I do that soft life stuff because it helps give me the ideas and help me download the things that I need to download because I'm reflecting on my marriage with Cece. I didn't know how to be in a healthy marriage in the beginning. I didn't know how to be in a healthy relationship. I didn't know how to communicate effectively. I learned all these things. I started reading books. I started going to couples counseling. I started listening to men who were older than me that were married and some men who were older than me that were divorced. However, when it comes to the ones that were divorced, I listened to the ones who were able to tell me and articulate in a good way what they did wrong. You have to understand that it is never just one-sided, the problems of a relationship. Both parties have something to blame in it. And so from that over these years, and this is what I have started to understand. You must know the importance of knowing yourself by asking yourself these few questions. The first question is, are you liberal? Are you liberal? And if so, what aspects of liberalism is in your life? What parts of your life or life is liberal? Like for me, I am not a very liberal person. I'm going to be honest with you. However, I do have liberal thinking. And this is what I mean by I have liberal thinking. I believe everyone has the right to live their life on their terms and how they want to do it, even if it looks like ways that I don't agree with. Like if you've seen my videos, you should know I do not like e-begging. I don't like thieves and things like that. However, a person have the right to be an e-beggar on the internet if they want to. A person have a right to be a thief. However, on the flip side, I also believe in the liberal aspect of you have the right to deal with the consequences that come along with the life that you choose. You get what I'm saying there? Like I believe in the karma. So if someone's a thief and then they get beat up by mob justice, you're not going to catch Jason like, oh man, somebody need to go help him. Human rights. No, I don't care. That is my liberal thinking. You shouldn't have been stealing, but you chose to be a thief. Deal with your consequences. Like that is the way I think as far as liberalism. And that's actually as far as it go for my life. I know a lot of people because they see my videos, they're like, "Oh, he's so outspoken. He's this big extrovert. He's this big liberal type person because he travel and move." I'm not. I am not liberal at all. I am probably one of the most conservative people you will ever meet in this world if you truly got to know me on a personal level. Just only few people really get to meet me and get to know me on that deep of a level because that's how conservative I am. And then the second part goes to, are you conservative? And if so, in what aspects of your life are you conservative? Like really think about these things. And like for me, this is how conservative I am. I do not want to be with a person who drinks, goes out being drunk, belligerent in public, disrespecting people in public. I do not want to be associated with those people because I don't want my life like that. So part of my boundaries from that conservative, me being that conservative is I do not allow people like that in my life. I'm going to give you a real life example. I'm not going to tell you which country. I'm just going to give you the example. I went on a date with someone. I had met them online and the online profile looked decent. You know, it wasn't nothing just out there, nothing showing they're a big clubber, drinker, nothing like that. Just normal pictures, normal clothes. When she showed up for the date, and it was just a date in the daytime, mind you, I do not go out at night, especially meeting someone in the beginning. You have to meet me in a public place and it has to be in the daytime. Not even like even around 1700, 1800 hours, that's too late for a first date for me. It needs to be in the daytime. I don't care if I have to wait a month till you to get off. We will not meet until it's in the daytime and it's a very appropriate hour according to me. So this individual had on, I guess you call it a bodysuit, but it was like a shorts bodysuit. And so you could see everything of her body. And even though she had like a jacket over it, you can see her imprint, if you get what I'm saying. And I was just like, okay. Remember, my liberal thinking is you have the right to be who you are. Even if I'm judging you, like I'm not gonna be like, I look and don't judge. I judge. I'm a very judgy person. I'm not even gonna lie about it. And so I was like, okay, so even as soon as I saw her, she was already eliminated. I'm like, okay, I feel disrespected. Like if you feel that comfortable wearing something like that with me, and this is your first time meeting me, we're not a match. Just straight up, we're not a match. And guess what? After maybe the 30 minutes, I never spoke to that person again. Like I might as well still have my lunch. Like I'm not going to just leave a lunch because this person inappropriately dressed. And I don't care about paying for someone's lunch. That don't bother me. But guess what? You don't have access to me anymore. And as soon as I left the person present, block, delete the number. That's how conservative I am. Because I understand how conservative I am, I understand parts of my boundaries. And I do not make I don't make, let me see, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't make exceptions. I'm trying to make sure I say things clean and not be derogative or anything like that. I don't make exceptions for people who cross my boundaries. Meaning like, oh, well, it was just this one time. Let me give them an extra shot. No, I live off the principle of once you show me who you are, I believe it. It's not my job to sit here and dig deep and, well, maybe it's this one good quality. I don't give a damn. Like when you're looking for someone to share your life with, if you're looking for that, do not make exceptions. Please hear me. When people show you who they are, believe it. And I see a lot of women make this mistake. You're starting to see it a lot more with men now, but a lot of women make this mistake. They hang on to this one little good quality. Like, let's say this the guy. This one little stitch here is that one good quality have, and they're just like, well, I've seen some good in him, but you've seen 1,000 things horrible about this person. Let them go. And this is the reason why people don't do it. So remember, the first one is, are you liberal? And then if so, in what aspects of your life? The second part is, are you conservative? And in what aspects of your life? We all live in duality. Like this thing of, I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative, I'm this, I'm that. We have different viewpoints and different mindsets on every single part of our life. One of the biggest dysfunctions of modern mental health is that it have people fearful of having multiple personalities. However, we all have multiple personalities for the multiple facets or ideas or ideologies of our life. We all have multiple personalities. Who you are with your grandmother is not who you are with your best friend. Who you are with your partner is not who you are with your best friend. Who you are with your mom is not who you are with your dad. Who you are with your cousins is not who you are with your brothers and sisters. We have dual personalities for every single person that goes on that comes in and out of our life. Who you are at work is usually not who you are at home. So we have to understand that. Like this thing, dissociative identity disorder, DID, how they had it in the mental health as if, oh, you're crazy, you're crazy. You're not crazy. Everyone has multiple personalities. I have multiple personalities. I'm a different person if you see me in the gaming community. I might be cursing, talking trash. I'm more loud, more rambunctious. Like all of these different things. Like there's a different part of my personality when I'm doing online gaming. There's a different part of my personality if someone does something disrespectful than who I am in my everyday. I'm a different personality if I'm with my girlfriend. I'm a different personality if I'm with my mom. I'm a different personality with my brother. Like we all have these different personalities. We all have dual personalities because we live in duality. So please understand that part also. And so this is why you need to really dig deep in these questions when you're asking them to yourself and just write them down. And at the end, I'm going to show you how to exactly do this just by get you a little journal. It'll be a journal like this, and I'm going to show you then what to do. And so then the next question is, are you an introvert? If so, what do you get enjoyment from doing as an introvert? You have to understand the things that start bringing you pleasure. Everybody does not get enjoyment from being out with a bunch of people. I personally am an extreme introvert. I like to be at home. I like to read books. I don't have one of my books around me right now, but I like to be at home. 90% of my time, I like to be in the house. I do not even like just leaving on a whim. It looks like it when I'm showing you things behind the camera and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm just going out here. I'm doing this. I'm just making these sporadic decisions. But the truth is, these things have been thought out for weeks. Like, I do not just move around blindly. Everything I do is with a decisive decision. It's been planned out. And I've actually planned it out to a point of where I'm making it look like it's sporadic. It's really not at all. And then the opposite of that question, which you next one you're gonna ask, and if you said this, you're correct. Are you an extrovert? If so, how does it look in your life? What are the things that bring you enjoyment for being an extrovert? For me, in my extrovert part of my life, I like to be in business development places. I like to be in professional development places. This is like when you see me whenever if I'm in South Africa, I'm always trying to link up with Cobus Visor and the group that he works with. I'm always trying to be around those type of people. That's where I like to spend my extrovert energy. That's how I did the ice bath, the walking on glass, the walking on fire. Those are the things that bring me enjoyment when it comes to the extrovert part of me. Outside of those, I'm more introvert. I'm more into intimate situations and intimate settings. Intimate don't mean sex, guys. Intimate mean close, a bond. You're actually developing a bond with a person. That's what I mean by intimate. So I know a lot of people think, oh, a relationship has to be all about sex. Sex is about 5 to 10% of your relationship. The rest of it is actually true intimacy. And that's another reason why a lot of people mess up. And so really understanding how these words apply to your life, it gives you a better foundation in finding your relationships, because these are going to be the building blocks of how you qualify and disqualify men or women in your life. And the thing that I love about this is it works for both genders. If you're a male or a female, it works for both. And this is something that both parties can actually do. And I would even actually recommend it doing this with your partner if you're in a relationship with someone, because it's going to help you deepen your bonds. Cece and I used to do this like every 6 months, I believe. And it was something that helped us stay on our path for growing together. Because there's going to be things you outgrow, some things you want to add to your life, some things you start getting curiosity about. That is just normal human development. Like we never stop developing until the day we leave and go back to spirit. So please understand that also. And then, like I said earlier, the problem with majority of relationships is the inability to choose a proper match. It's not that your perfect partner is not out there. You don't know how to qualify them. We've been taught to qualify off just the sight or, seeing, oh man, she got a nice body. She got that nyash. Oh, she got them yams. Or, how women, oh, he's 6'8". That's not your perfect match. Your perfect match is the person that you're compatible with, the person that can bring you pure happiness. Matching off of just sexual lust is never going to end well for you. It doesn't matter who you are. It don't matter how great and big you are. You can only fulfill someone so much sexually before they get bored. And this is for men and women. Each person, everyone have a certain amount of time and energy they're willing to put into a person sexually before they get tired of that person. Most people just don't know what that actual number is for them as an individual. And the few that do, these are the ones that are just out here very nonchalant. They're just like, I'm good. Because I've had plenty of women since I've become single after Cece's passing that I was sexually attracted to. But because I don't just act on sexual desires, I didn't talk to them. Like they showed me more qualities of them I did not like. And some of them looked bewildered because, and this is another thing, like once you reach a certain level of emotional maturity, plus you have sexual experience, which doesn't mean a whole large number, guys. It just means sexual experience. You don't act too much on just your sexual desires. And this is why I always tell guys, you need to be in control of your sexual desires at all times. Because if not, it's going to have you putting yourself in situations that can be dangerous, or you're going to be putting yourself in situations that can be expensive and a lot of your time wasted. Your time is way, way more valuable than any dollar amount you can put on a person. Trust me on that. Because like my brother Jerome, he was a good dude. He was really a good dude. He meant well. but he did not have control over his sexual desires. That was one of his downfalls. It was one of his biggest character flaws. And he kept himself in a perpetual pattern of being in toxic relationships. And I used to feel bad for him. I'm like, bro, you really mean well, but shit, you just not getting it. And you're reading the wrong books. Like, go read a good book from someone who's successfully married. However, he tried his best. But like, I don't want you to have to try your best. I want you to actually be able to do this and win, because when you find a healthy, happy, loving relationship, there's nothing you cannot do in this world. Everything will bend to your reality, and you will start seeing the law of attraction, manifestation, everything just pulling to you exactly what you want, because you have the yin to your yang. And then I just want to leave it on this, and I want to give you a good visual. Whenever you're forcing someone to fit inside your box, the expectations you have on an individual is your individual box. Whenever you're forcing someone to fit in your box, it's the same as trying to force an elephant to sit on a balloon without popping it. It's never going to happen. It is never going to happen. And it's not going to end well. And so, like, as I promised, I was going to share with you exactly how to do this. So what you can do, actually, let me use this book here, because it's bigger. And I didn't even plan on doing this, but since I was talking in this video, it just made a lot of sense to show this to you. So why not? So we're going to do the 4 quadrants here. So you just open up your piece of paper, draw a cross right in the middle. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. Then on the top, conservative. Or you can put a C, and then you can also put liberal. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you see I got conservative, liberal there. And then you can do as many as you want. I'm just putting 5 on there for an example. Write out the 5 things that really speak to you as what is the things you value of being a conservative. We're all both parts. Remember, it's duality. So there's conservative aspects in you, there's liberal aspects in you. Some of the people that I meet that are the most liberal are the most conservative when it comes to family. You would be shocked when they're like, no, I don't want my family doing this. I don't want to do this. I want my family structure to look like this. That's conservative, guys. Don't think these words just mean what the media is showing you all day, well, politics. Conservative and liberal is not about politics. That's manipulation, if you want me to be honest. They're manipulating people because they know that there's duality of personality. So they're using little strings to draw at you, to manipulate you, to believing you're all one side. And when they have your votes, have you inside their system, and then they're sitting there doing other things behind your back, and you have no understanding of what they're really doing. And then underneath that, you write extrovert or an E, whichever works for you, and introvert. And then you're going to do the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you have to do. And then you start writing down the 5 values of introvert the 5 things of introvert that you value, and the 5 things of extrovert that you value. Now, for that one, extrovert, you may not value that much. It's okay. If you can only do 1 or 3 things, write them down, but just get it out. And then start seeing what the things are you really value. You have to find your value base before you can start finding a partner. That's why this is part 1. I know sometimes people don't like when I break things down in so many videos. When you're talking about dating, when you're talking about finding a partner, it is not something as simple as I'm a male, she's a woman, she's attractive, I want her. No, I need to know what she's thinking. Are we in sync? Can we tune up? Are we on the same wavelength to vibe? When you're vibing with someone beyond the sexual chemistry, you're vibing at such a deep level. You can start syncing up to where you start understanding each other subconsciously like this. For all my married people out there, if you are married, let people know in the comments, have you and your wife or you and your husband ever had the exact same thoughts and the exact same thing, even if you were not in the same room? There were times when Cece and I were in completely different cities, and we would have the exact same thought at the exact same time. And we would end up getting something for one another or text or call one another. And we were amazed. I remember the last time it was funny. We were in Colombia. She was at home. I was out in the city, just out walking, doing my thing. And then I had this thought. I was like, man, Cece had dreadlocks. Man, I want to get something for her hair, for her dreadlocks, like just something to help her decorate them, make it pretty, just something. And I found some like, what you call them, hair ribbons, hair bows or something, where you put it on your head. And as you see, I haven't been using nothing for hair in a long time. So my apology. But I think it's a hair ribbon or something. I don't know what it's called, but it was all different ones, cute ones. They had little daisies, different colors. And it was all colors that I felt will look really beautiful with her dreadlocks. And tell me why, as soon as I got home, she was like, man, well, she didn't say man. She used to call me Hupster. She's like, Hupster, I should have texted you and asked you if you saw anything for my hair to get the things to put in my hair. And then I opened up my backpack. I was like, you mean something like this? And she was like, dude, how did you know that? And I was like, I was just walking and I started thinking of getting something for your hair. The thought came to me. And it just turned out we both were thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time. Like, that is how beautiful a relationship is when you start actually vibing and syncing together on a deeper level than just sexual chemistry. And so I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Part 2 will probably be out next week. I don't know exactly when this video is going to get uploaded, but I'm going to do more parts. I'm going to keep elaborating more on it. And I'm going to give you more of some of my stories. I'm not going to go into deep details. I don't want to let people know exactly which country certain things happen in or trying to call people out. It's been crazy getting back in the dating scene. It's been crazy, but funny at the same time, because after you go from being in something that was just easy and effortlessly, and then you start seeing all the resistance that's in relationships now, you're just like, yo, this is a bunch of nonsense. But it's just a bunch of people that are listening to the wrong people on the internet, listening to the wrong information on podcasts. And also too many people that have never had a successful relationship are not out here, or too many people that have never had a successful relationship are trying to tell you what you're supposed to demand from a relationship. And so also it's a blessing because it gives me the space to actually share how I was able to build a marriage until my wife passed away in my arms, how I was able to become a loving husband that just cherished her and nourished her, how to be a husband to where she fully felt protected and provided for. So many men want to be protectors and providers, yet they do not know exactly how to do it. And this is where this misplacement of modern women is coming from. There's nothing wrong with a modern woman. There's nothing wrong with a traditional woman. You're going to find that in duality. Some of the most modern women are actually some of the most traditional women at the same time also. It's just sometimes some men do not know how to find that or let a woman express that in herself naturally. And so I'm going to start sharing more of that. And hey, enjoy the videos. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I really appreciate everyone for watching. I appreciate all the comments. It's been fun this year, man. This year has been so much fun getting back into YouTube. And I was scared to do it. I really was like, damn, should I really do this? And I just want to thank each and every last one of you. You all have been part of my growth, my help, getting past this last part of the depression of losing Cece. And I appreciate each and every last one of you. And just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.